This is Sean's View Entertainment, where I will break down hour by hour the Raw review. And just like I did last week, I started this off, and hopefully this will go in the right trend. Make sure to crack that bell next to the subscribe button to receive all my notifications, reviews, results, and updates right here on Sean's View Entertainment. The first hour of the Raw review. After the first hour is done, I'll give you a review. After the second hour is done, I'll give you a review. And then after the third hour is done, I will give you a Raw review. So join me for each and every hour of Monday Night Raw. Keep refreshing my page periodically throughout the day, every single day, for news, rumors, and headlines in WWE. So it started off with a performance review in Stephanie McMahon's office of Mick Foley and how he did in 2016. Now, Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman would interrupt, and there would be a huge brawl in the room backstage area in Stephanie McMahon's office. It would be absolute chaos and bedlam between Strowman and Rollins. And then we're going to kick it off with the United States title on the line. We're thinking Roman Reigns is going to defend this title right off the bat, the first match of the night, in a handicap match against Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens. But that was not to be, as Braun Strowman, who was looking for Roman Reigns earlier in the night, came down to the ring and he made a beeline. All of a sudden, it turned on to a 3-on-1 assault. Roman Reigns having to battle Jericho, Owens, and Strowman. Now, this would have been another great strategy to get the U.S. title off of Roman Reigns. Have Strowman beat the hell out of Roman Reigns before the match even begins. Throw him back in the ring. That way, Roman Reigns still kind of looks strong because he got beat on before the match even began. But then Seth Rollins would come down to the ring. Seth Rollins would make a beeline with a steel chair, and he would even the odds, and Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins would stand tall, and then Stephanie would say, well, Roman, we're not going to have your match just yet because we don't want any excuses. So instead, it's going to be Braun Strowman versus Seth Rollins to kick off Monday Night Raw, and later on, it will be Roman Reigns defending the U.S. title in a handicap match. And as promised, Shawn Michaels will be here, and still rumored to come, The Undertaker. And Stephanie McMahon told Mick Foley that you better follow through on those plans. So that's how we kicked off Monday Night Raw. So far, it's been okay, and now we got Seth Rollins versus Braun Strowman in the opener on Raw. And right now, so far, it's been all Braun Strowman. I did like the way that the WWE kicked it off with a big brawl backstage in Stephanie's office. You know, that was kind of chaotic and cool to see that. You know, a change of pace, so to speak. But it's going to take a little bit more than that for Monday Night Raw to grow on us once again. They're going to have to come up with something a little bit more creative. But at least it started off in a very physical manner. No doubt about that. And although Rollins took a lot of punishment, it was the resilience, and it was the fortitude, and it was the actions that Rollins was able to withstand the beating. But in the end, ultimately, even though the onslaught, the destruction, the damnation, it ended in a countout. But Seth Rollins would hold bay, and he would hold Braun Strowman back with a steel chair, which was the same steel chair that held Braun Strowman back earlier in the night in a United States title match that we first thought we were going to get. So, I mean, to begin Monday Night Raw tonight from 8 to 8:30 right now as it stands, it's been okay. Hasn't been anything wowing. Once again, you got to hold interest. You got to give us one reason to tune in from 1 hour to the next. But, you know, at least there's a little bit of technique and strategy being used here and implemented in the first hour on Monday Night Raw, which I will be here for each and every hour to cover the results, my thoughts, and my opinions. And I'm going to rate it from 1 to 5 since I'm covering every hour of Raw, and I will be here for every hourly review. Once again, I'm going to give it from 1 out of 5. And right now, as it stands, we got about, I give it about, I think it's fair to say 2.5 out of 5 stars at this point, from the backstage brawl to Strowman versus Rollins. 2.5, so to speak, so far. Let's see if the WWE, and you know, it's been an intense way to kick off Monday Night Raw. Make no mistake about it, a very intense and volatile way. We would then witness our second backstage segment of the night, as it would be Bayley and Sasha Banks talking amongst themselves backstage when they would be assaulted and they would be confronted by Nia Jax and Charlotte, and they would get beaten down backstage, and then Charlotte thought Nia Jax was on her side, and then Nia Jax showed Charlotte who was boss. And then we had cruiserweight action on Monday Night Raw. It was Jack versus Drew, Drew versus Jack. Actually, this match was pretty good for what it was. Match could have went a little bit longer because I was actually getting into it, and as soon as I was getting into it, the match was all but over, and it was done in there. So the first hour of Monday Night Raw, obviously the highlight was the backstage beat down earlier in the night to kick off Raw. We thought we were going to have a United States title match to kick off Raw. That didn't happen. But then we got Rollins versus Strowman. So, you know, that was a good match. But all in all, I think I'll bump it up 3 out of 5 stars. 3 out of 5 stars in the first hour of Monday Night Raw. Stay tuned for Raw Reviews second hour. Remember, Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker still to come on my Raw Reviews. If these gets enough comments, likes, shares on Twitter and Facebook, absolutely crucial and important to this channel to share my Raw Reviews each hour. Remember, join me for the next second and third hour review of Monday Night Raw. I started this last week. They got a kind of a good amount of views. Hopefully we can pick up this week. I mean, I know we just started it. So remember to hit that bell and receive all my notifications. It's that bell next to the subscribe button, not the bell that you see above the YouTube screen. It's the bell next to that subscribe button that's become very minute over the last several weeks or months or years or whatever the hell it's been. That all I know is that subscribe button has become just as small and minute as Monday Night Raw. Your comments, your opinions. Join me for the second hour of the Raw Review. And what did you think about the first hour? Join me for the second and third hour. More to come.